welcome back to Build with the Boys. We now have the next 4 parts of Hachette Build the Titanic. We have 45 through to 48. We're doing 45 in this one. Quite unexpectedly, I wasn't expecting these to turn up until next weekend, funnily enough, but here they are. I'm happy with that, which is nice because they had fallen behind a little bit. So it looks like they're catching back up, which is good, because I mean, with the postal strikes and things like that, I think we fell back about 3 weeks in total. So it makes sense that this is here now. I mean, it was only 2 weeks since we had the last ones, but we're back on track. That's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. Made all the more weird by the there'll be a delay emails. I mean, actually, there wasn't a delay. They came faster than normal. How strange is that? So in the next 4, what we're going to be doing, so in 45 and 46, pretty much mirrors of each other. We're going to be laying more decking onto the larger parts of superstructure we built. We're also going to be adding davits and lifeboats. We're making some lifeboats which come in tarpaulins, so they'll be going on there as well. In 47, we receive a new piece of superstructure, which goes above, I believe, goes above the first class lounge. I don't know. I've not looked at the parts yet. We'll be doing that. But we also received the grand staircase. In the last pack of this month, we get the grand staircase, which is going to be a sight to behold. We will be having our Titanic talks at the end of these videos, so if you are just sticking around with the instructions, please remember to like and subscribe. If you're sticking around for our Titanic talk, it'd be good to talk to you at the end as well. So without further ado, let's crack this one open and let's get this going. Okay, so here's everything we get in stage 45, and the reason I'm showing you is I do this every issue. So I go through and I just do an inventory of everything that's supposed to be there compared to what we get inside the magazine inventory there. Make sure I've got everything. The reason I'm saying that is I was missing 2 parts last month. Didn't have them, just didn't have them. Now I had a lot of, have you checked here, have you checked there? I did. I checked literally everywhere. I just did not have those parts. I have got them since, I've received them since. Hachette very good. I replaced anything that they didn't include or anything that arrives broken. I say that. Let's be respectful of them. Let's not, I tried to mod it and broke it, so now send me a free one. That's pretty much what killed Eagle Moss. So yeah, just be respectful of the kind of the service they offer. But this is what we've got. So there's no screws in this one, so we're not screwing anything into anything. This is going to be stuck onto the part of superstructure we put together in the last one. And then we're going to be putting, I have no idea how these go together, but that'll be interesting to find out. And then we have these here, and these are the tarpaulins. So they are solid, they're not fabric, if you're worried about that. But again, 1/200th scale fabric does not move like fabric in our scale. So if you're thinking we're going to cover those in fabric, all right, but it might look weird. So those are the tarps that are going to go on there. Now again, I've seen a complaint about there's not enough detail on the tarp. What more detail do you want? Stitching? Your eye wouldn't pick that up. Your eye wouldn't pick up stitching on something in 1/200th scale. Just wouldn't. So if there were stitches on there, I mean, a visible stitch on there would be a stitch about that big, and come on. So they are what they are. I think these look quite nice when they're done. So let's get this put together and we'll take a look. Okay, so this is the section we're going to be working on. We're going to take our deck in. We're going to move this backing sheet here from it, and we're going to pop this in place. Now again, if you want to glue, you go for it. The amount of stuff that's going to be pinning this to the deck, this decking ain't going anywhere. So I'm not overly worried about that. But if you want to glue it, you go ahead and you glue it. Because it's all about what you want to do, Right. Now this should be a relatively simple fit, because it's got to fit over those sections. There we go. So that fits in. That's the nicest fitting piece of deck we've had to date. That was very easy to fit. Lovely. So we're going to get that in. I mean, your edges are the only place you really need any concern. And you can see the amount of things that are going to pin this down. We don't need to be overly concerned about that. So that's that part in. The next thing we're going to do is, I believe we have let's have a look. Okay, so we have that one done. Now we're going to fit a winch on the deck. And I can see where that's going to go. So, yes. Let's take our winch piece here. So that's our silver winch piece here. And this is going to go... Which way around is this going? Yep. So this is what would have winched our lifeboats over the side. Now, these do have different size lugs, so it's only going to go in one way. So you can't put it on the wrong way around, because you have a fat lug and a thin lug. So I'm going to go one way. So that's that one in. Do I need to glue? No. I mean, again, it's a choice of preference, but I mean, what I like about this is I don't have to glue it, which means I want to take it out and upgrade it to something, I can. It also means that I don't get scorch marks or glue marks or anything like that. It's firm. I mean, I'm not turning this boat upside down, so... upside down, so there's no real concern for me there. Right, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to build these davits. Now, I've heard from people it's a bit of a nightmare, but we'll have a look. So put the davits together. There's nothing complicated about this. You just got to get them around the right way. So you're going to have 4 davits made in total, and there's going to be slight variances. So 2 exactly the same. So you can take these, have one that side, one that side, and this one's like a mirror image. So you have 2 like that. That one is your K davit, your 45K. You're then going to have this one. So you've got one that way, one on an angle, and that is going to make your J davit. And then you've got one that's only got one arm on it. So there's only one arm on this side, and that is going to make your I davit. That's it. So we're going to put these in here. So what's going to happen is the 2 K ones are going to go here and here. This one's going to go there, and the I is going to go on the end there. And we are going to have them with the arms hanging over. Yeah, we are. Okay, so I'm going to put those in, see if they need gluing or not, and we'll get them fitted. Okay, so now we have our davits in place. I haven't glued mine. Again, they were that snug, they just didn't need it. So you can see we have the 2 that look identical there. We have this one here, and we have this one here. So those are those 4. The next final thing we're going to do is we're going to attach the tarpaulins to the lifeboats. Okay, this seems relatively pretty straightforward. And again, they've said don't use glue, so we won't. We're going to fit a tarpaulin to the boat. Now, this should be snug, I hope. Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's not going anywhere. So we pop that one on like that, and then we are going to take these 2 block gears, and one is going to fit into the hole there. Push down. And one in there. See, that tarpaulin's coming loose. That's a concern. Yeah, naturally, I don't want this to be tight as hell, but I certainly don't want it to be bloody loose. There we go. So that's that one done. Let's get the other one put together and take a look. So there we have it. We have both the boats put together. They don't attach to anything at this point, but our little lifeboats there are just sitting. Again, no glue attached to these. They say don't use glue. There's probably a bloody good reason for that, so let's listen to it. And that's where we are. So I believe 46 is a mirror of what we've just done, but we will go through it again anyway, just in case there's any difference with the davits or anything like that. But let's have a chat. So that's that one complete. Nothing too complicated about that one. The davits, just take your time, because they all look the same. They're not the same. So you got to make sure you've got your the right arm to go into the right one. But just take your time. You'll be fine with it. Honestly, it's not that complicated. Lifeboats, don't know where they're going at the moment, but I mean I can imagine where these are going to go. I can see where they're going to go. But we'll see exactly how that works out. I like it. It's made an impact already, and when the other side's done, it's going to look this whole piece is going to look lovely. I mean, we're really starting to see the Titanic now, which is a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. 46 will be coming up very soon. It is pretty much a mirror of what we've just done, I believe, but again, there will be some slight variances to the davits. But we'll do this. So if you are just sticking around with the instructions, thank you for stopping by. Please remember to like and subscribe and tune in for the next issue, which will be up very soon. If you're sticking around for our Titanic talk, we are talking about Michael J. Joseph. Who's that? Well, Michael was not really known as Michael. After 1912, Michael was known exclusively as Ty. Everyone called him Ty. Everyone. His wife, family, friends, employers, Ty. Why? Who is he? Where does he come from? Well, Michael was actually one of the youngest survivors of the Titanic. He was born to Lebanese parents who were moving back to America. Now, we don't fully know why, but we believe it's monetary woes was part of the reason for them moving back to America. His whole family were on board. So his parents were on board, as were his younger sister, Mary. And naturally, at 5 years old, he was asleep when this happened. They were third-class passengers. As I said, money woes. What's remarkable about this family of third-class passengers is every single one of them survived, which is a rarity. And when it comes to Titanic, for entire families to survive is a rarity. For an entire family of third-class passengers to survive Incredibly rare. So what makes Michael's story unique is not just the fact they all survived, but the fact that something else happened to Michael. So as they were heading up to the deck, they'd been woken up to leave. Michael's mother told him, "You hold on to my skirt tails. You do not let go." So she was carrying the daughter. I believe the father was kind of on point, trying to get through to get them to a boat. She was holding the children, and she said to him, "You hold my skirt tails and you don't let go." And in the chaos, he did. So he got separated from his mother, and you can imagine the crowd would have just consumed, and he was gone. So by the time she looks back to see that he's not there, he's gone. He's gone. So Michael's left alone on the deck in all the confusion at 5 years old. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine it? I mean, he's not fully understanding what's going on. He's having to face his mortality at 5 years old, separated from his family with all the chaos that would have been happening on the Titanic. Must have been absolutely harrowing for him. But it's at this point, Michael says that an angel saved his life, that a guardian angel reached down and took his hand and walked him to a lifeboat. Now, it wasn't an angel, depends on what your definition of an angel is. It was actually a gentleman. It was a blonde-haired gentleman. No one knows who. This has never been identified. But a blonde-haired gentleman took Michael by the hand, walked him to a lifeboat, and made sure he got on the lifeboat. This gentleman did not get on the lifeboat with Michael. He just made sure Michael got on the lifeboat. No one knows who he was. We don't know who this guy was. But to the 5-year-old Michael, who was a believer, this genuinely was an angel. And this is how he remembers it. And there's something very sweet about that. I mean, we've all got memories of things that we look back at it now, and it was probably something very different. I can remember having an uncle who must have been 9 feet tall. It was huge, and would just pick me up. And he was probably a foot shorter than me, as I am now. But I will always remember this giant looming over me. And we remember things differently. So we remember when things were scary as kids. They were really scary. And seeing things differently. So Michael's memory of that night was that an angel appeared and took his hand and led him to safety. And that's what he believed, because at that age, that's what it was. It was this blonde-haired man that just swooped in and saved him. So they ended up on different lifeboats. So Michael's father and mother and sister were in a lifeboat, and he ended up in a different one. And they were reunited on the Carpathia. Sadly, both Michael and Mary, his sister, both contracted measles whilst they were on board the Carpathia. But in the scheme of things, small price to pay. So why was he called Ty? Well, after Titanic, and they were settled back in America, Michael went to a Catholic school where he was taught by nuns, and they loved the story that an angel had swooped in and saved Michael. And the young Michael would regale in telling this story to people, where an angel saved me on board the Titanic. Naturally, the nuns loved this. And he was very articulate for a child of his age, and he would tell this whole story that it was at that point the guardian angel rescued me. And as a result of that, he was nicknamed Ty for Titanic. And Michael was very proud of this. I mean, he became a collector of Titanic memorabilia. He was very much available to talk to about his experiences. I mean, I question how much Michael really remembered at 5 years old, but he was incredibly proud of the fact that he survived the Titanic, and he was very, very proud of the fact that his entire family managed to survive the Titanic. And that is incredible for an entire third-class family to survive Titanic in 2 separate lifeboats, no doubt, after being separated, is bloody remarkable. And who knows who that angel was? Did he himself get on a boat? Was it one of the sailors? We don't know. We genuinely don't know. All Michael's ever said that it was an angel. And again, the name Ty. And again, savagely proud of everything he achieved. I mean, if you think about it, Michael lived to the age of 84. So he died in 1991. But again, very, very proud of his Titanic legacy. And this, as you can see, is his tombstone. Remarkable. But that's one of the lesser known Titanic stories, and this is what we're trying to do here. It's not just the obvious ones. We don't just want to, because the question I keep getting asked is why haven't you done the captain yet? I'm not going to. The captain will be the last one, so we will be discussing the captain of the Titanic in issue 130. He will be how we end this. I think that's fitting. But I'd like to do as many of the kind of lesser known stories of the Titanic. I mean, they're not all sprawling epics. Some are very short, some are very, very long, some are sad, some are happy, some are weird, some are unbelievable. But there are so many stories with thousands of people on board. Every single one of them had a story. And I think if we can just give them a little bit of remembrance and a little bit of respect for what we go through, then why not? Why not, you know? And I think for me, it's that when it comes to Titanic, it's not just the grandeur of the ship. It's not just the mystery of what happened. It's not just the tragedy of what happened. It's very much the life stories involved, because everybody on board that ship was going somewhere. And I mean, it's a different time. It's now, it would be people on vacation typically. But Titanic were people that were setting out for a new life, or going back to a life, or leaving their whole world behind. So everybody's stories on there are so incredible. They really are. I mean, there were very few day trippers on board that vessel. And it's remarkable. And I think the human aspect of it is insane. I really do. Some of the stories and some of the bravery that have been shown, and who knows who our angel was. But again, it just shows that in times of complete darkness, people aren't naturally selfish. They help. They saw a little boy and they got him to help, and what a wonderful thing. That's all for this one. We will be back very soon for issue 46 of Hachette's Build the Titanic. Please tune in for that. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice, and I will see you very soon for stage 46.